About a few things that iReady does for us and for your children. So we're going to take a look at how they're logging into iReady. We're going to take a look at the diagnostic tests, the lessons that they complete, the time that should be spent doing iReady, and some tips and information that you might want to take a look at as well. When your children are logging into iReady, if they're using an iPad, they should have an iReady app on the iPad. If they're using a laptop or they're using a computer, they need to go to iReady.com and click on Login Now. They can also go to www.login.i-ready.com. That will take them straight to the login as well. Once they're at the login page, they would be putting in their username and password provided to them by their teacher and selecting New York as the state and then clicking go. Once they're in, they have a choice of either math or reading. It's the same whether they're doing the diagnostic test or if they're doing the lessons, they would always choose either math or reading. So we take the diagnostic assessment 3 times a year, and it helps the teachers to understand a few things about your child. It shows them what your child already knows, what your child still needs to learn, and how to use the learning time best. So the teachers see a very itemized assessment. They see the kinds of things that your child is struggling with, and they're able to better form small groups when they're doing instruction. And they're able to group together children who are having similar difficulties or need to learn similar topics, and they're able to address it with a smaller group instead of addressing it with the entire class. It is really important that you do not help your children with the diagnostic assessment, because if you're helping them, it is not showing what they truly know, and then the program will not be personalized in the correct way that they need it to be, because it learns from what they don't know and it teaches them the things that they still need to learn. iReady is adaptive. This means that the questions change based on your child's answers to earlier questions. So when they're doing the diagnostics, some of the questions might be really difficult for them, and it's okay. It's trying to gauge where they are. So after answering a few of the really difficult questions, when the program sees that the child is struggling, when they see that they're spending a lot of time on the question and are still getting it wrong, it will adapt and ask them easier questions. Some of the questions will be easy. It is meant to determine exactly where they are. And some of the questions will be really hard. They will see questions they won't know how to answer, and that's okay. Try to encourage them in that. Just try your best, make the best guess. It's okay to get it wrong. And others will be just right. So the program will be able to see exactly the right level that they're on. Once they are complete with the diagnostic test that usually happens at the beginning and then mid-year and then towards the end again, they will have lessons in reading and math. So they would click on either reading or math to get in and start their lesson. The lesson is prescribed to them by the program based on what they need. The lessons are also adaptive. If the program sees that the child is struggling with certain lessons, they will give them more of the scaffold, more of the things that they need in order to achieve that, things that would come before that lesson. If they see that certain lessons are too easy and your child is just going through them so quickly and getting all 100%, it will make it harder. So the lessons are also adaptive, just as the questions on the diagnostic test. So for reading, you would click on the book. For math, you would click on the math signs. And there are fun characters that teach the students the concepts. There are video lessons that stop and ask them questions. And there are checks there where they have to answer questions. Once your child is logged in at home, they can complete lessons on their just right level. It is best if the students complete the lessons on their own so that the teacher knows if they really understood the lesson. You can see the results from the last few lessons that your child has completed in My Progress. Depending on whether you're using the app or whether you're accessing this on the computer, you might see the My Progress button in different places. It might be either at the top corner here underneath the logout, or it might be underneath the math and reading buttons at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to show you a quick video that shows how the students log in and then also goes over what you will see when you click on the My Progress button, the kinds of information that you will see about your child's work on iReady.
This is a video tutorial on how to use iReady as a parent. Using iReady, your child will complete a diagnostic assessment in both reading and math 3 to 4 times a year as a way of highlighting your child's academic strengths and challenges. Based on the challenges that the diagnostic test reveals, iReady will then prescribe your child with personalized lessons which can be completed each day from both school and home. Now, to access iReady in a web browser, you'll go to the address login.i-ready.com. Once you have arrived on the iReady site, your child will need to enter their username, password, and their state. If you do not have your child's username and password, your child's teacher can provide that to you. After you have entered the iReady site, your child will have the option to complete either reading or math. So for this tutorial, I'll select reading first. After selecting reading, in the green box at the top is your child's next lesson. Your child will simply select the green box, and at the bottom there'll be a forward green arrow, which your child will select. They'll hit go, and the lesson will load and begin automatically. Now, as a parent, it's important to monitor your child's progress in iReady each day. So to do that, I'm going to select the My Progress tab at the bottom. When I select the My Progress tab, you're going to see a couple things. The first thing you want to look for is the amount of time that your child has spent in iReady for the week. The goal for your child is 45 minutes a week. So as a general rule of thumb, that's about 15 minutes 3 days a week or 10 minutes 5 days a week. Next, you can select the Completed Work tab here, which is going to show you a couple other things. The Completed Work tab is going to show you the lessons that your child has completed, the date they completed those lessons, along with their score. As a parent, if you have any other additional questions about iReady and how your child should be using the program or how you can monitor their progress further, just contact your child's school and they will be able to provide you with that assistance.
All right, so this showed us a little bit of what we will see when we click on the progress. Okay. So the time that should be spent on iReady each week is 45 minutes for reading and 45 minutes for math, and they should not be completed all at once. They don't have to be completed all at once, and it's better when they're not completed all at once because 45 minutes at one time is a little bit too long for a child to be paying attention to just one thing all in a row, and their attention might not be focused on the lesson. So it's better to break it up a little bit. In the video, they were suggesting that 15 minutes 3 times a week could be a good way to break it up. Here's another sample schedule that you might want to follow where you do 20 minutes on Monday for reading, 20 minutes on Tuesday for math, 25 minutes on Wednesday for reading, 25 minutes on Wednesday for math. And on Friday, you could do catch-up time. Maybe on Wednesday, your child was having a harder time focusing and they only got 10 minutes in, so they can make up the rest of the time on Friday. It's better to break it up this way, but the recommended time for the week is 45 minutes for reading and 45 minutes for math. Some of the tips for doing iReady. Let your child complete the work on their own. This is a program that learns what they know and teaches them the things that they still struggle with. So it's really important that they do it on their own and make their best effort, make their best guess at the questions that they don't know. Let your child know that it's okay not to know all the answers, as long as they try their best. Try your best not to help your child answer the questions. And making iReady as part of your daily routine could be a helpful thing also to try and find the times in the day when you're able to fit in those 20, 25 minutes. A good time would be when they're not in meetings, when they're not in their asynchronous work right following the meeting. Maybe if your child is an early riser, they could do this at 8 o'clock in the morning. They can put in their 20 minutes. So each day, 8 o'clock is designated as their iReady time. They sit down and they have a routine to do it then. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's at the end of the day that they sit down to do their iReady. Maybe 2 o'clock or 2:30 is a good time for them when they can sit down and do their 20-25 minutes of iReady for the day. Having a routine might help to remember to do it daily. You can find more information about iReady at these websites. These are both sections of the iReady official website. They have an area called Family Center and an area called Tour, which both have videos in them. They have information written out for you. They have frequently asked questions that can answer some of the questions that you might still have about iReady. So for more information, you can visit the iReady website and check out their Family Center and the Tour. And right now would be a good time to ask any questions if you have any questions about iReady.
Parents, you can unmute yourselves if you have questions. I'm going to stop the recording now.